Alikan Ravgiani is an associate reporter covering the Jays for MLB.com. Alikan, thank you very much for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
What do you make of his announcement today that Stroman is starting?
It really doesn't come as much of a surprise to me. Marcus Stroman has been a big game pitcher for the Blue Jays in the past. He got the call earlier this season on opening day and in the home opener. And really, it seemed like John Gibbons tipped his hand a little bit earlier in Boston when he had Francisco Liriano warming up in the bullpen. Stroman is a guy who's pitched very well in the second half of the season, just like the rest of the Toronto staff. But Toronto also has some contingencies available. Should Stroman falter, Francisco Liriano will be available in the bullpen to get the start, as will Marco Estrada, who could come in and give Toronto some innings in relief.
You know, there was a major sigh of relief across the city and even across the country as the Jays made it into the playoffs. What makes this team it seems like they're having a bit of trouble going into the playoffs.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they played their best baseball really coming in, but make no mistake, this is still a very dangerous team. Toronto is one of those teams that a lot of opposing managers have said they don't want to face in the playoffs just because they're so well-rounded. They have a very good pitching staff of 5 guys that can beat you on any night, and it's an offense that has underperformed but is one that can come to life at any time, and really that's the one thing that Toronto fans have to be hopeful of, that this Blue Jays team can emerge with the bats, and they certainly have the potential to do so.
During the regular season, they had the edge over the Orioles. Does that make a difference in a game like this where it's one game winner take all?
I don't think so. I think exactly what you said. It's a one-game winner-take-all. It's going to come down to who can put the first punch. And for the Blue Jays, where that lies is their offense. They need to get behind this home crowd, 47,000 fans that are going to be screaming tomorrow for the Blue Jays to come out and get in front. And really what the Orioles do have is they have a very dynamite bullpen. So if the Blue Jays don't have the lead after 5 or 6 innings, then you could be looking at dicey waters.
Who's going into this matchup with momentum?
I think it would have to be both teams. They both played very well coming out at the end of the season. For them, every game has essentially been a must-win game because of the fact that the standings have been so tight going down the stretch. Baltimore wanted to try and keep home field advantage for this game. They won 2 out of 3 in New York. Toronto went and did the same in a very hostile environment in Boston. So both teams are kind of playing well right now. But I wouldn't give the momentum to one team or the other. I would say that both teams have been playing well, and really it could be anyone's game tomorrow night.
What kind of atmosphere do you expect in both cities? I mean, last year in Toronto, for each game, it was absolutely electric.
Yeah, it's really going to be deafening tomorrow at Rogers Center. And something that we talked about last year with the Texas series is the Blue Jays made it really hard for the Rangers to come out and do anything in that Game 5. Everybody remembers the epic Jose Bautista bat flip, but a lot of that was possible because of the crowd, because of the energy that they gave. And I was talking to Chris Davis of the Orioles earlier last week when they came to town, and they said they don't want to come back to Toronto because of how loud and how electric the Rogers Center is. So that's something that the Blue Jays really have to get behind. If they can use that to their advantage to score some early runs, they should be in good position tomorrow night.
From MLB.com, Alikan Ravgiani. Alikan, enjoy the game. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Anytime.